Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's September 13, 2022 and Gavi is very close to signing his contract extension with Barcelona. Also, the club could be close to finding a resolution with Atletico de Madrid in regards to the Antoine Griezmann case, and Lionel Messi will not be deciding his future until after the World Cup. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, the day is finally here where the team will have its first big test to see where they're at as they face one of the biggest teams in Europe and the entire world, Bayern Munich. Now Barcelona have had a great start to La Liga where they've won 4 matches in a row and tied 1, and where they've also scored 15 goals and only conceded 1 goal. Now Barcelona has also had a great start to the Champions League where they defeated Victoria Pilsen 5-1. However, this will be the biggest test yet that Barcelona will face to see where they currently at. Now for the first time in a long time, I am very confident in this squad and I believe that they will be able to compete and go head-to-head with Bayern Munich. After all, we have an excellent squad full of world-class players that can cause a lot of damage, and we have a deep bench with also full of excellent players that can come off the bench and contribute to the team. Now we also have a great coach in Xavi Hernandez who has a vision and has an idea of what his team should look like, and he has been working very hard to implement that vision with the squad, and that has been very apparent throughout all the matches that the team have had throughout La Liga. Now even though Bayern Munich have inflicted some damage in the past and they even beat us 8-2 in Lisbon in 2020. This is a brand new squad and there only remains a few players from that squad that lost in Lisbon, and this is a team that's looking to prove a point. Now in regards to the players that were there in 2020, they're gonna be looking to get revindicated, and in regards to the new players, they're gonna be looking to make to prove a point, especially Robert Lewandowski, who set out to prove a point that even though he's 34 years old, he's still the best number 9 in the entire world, and that Bayern Munich made a mistake in the way they treated him. After all, the German club did not want to extend Robert Lewandowski's contract by more than 1 year because of his age, and even though they were telling him that he was their striker and he was the best striker in the world, behind his back they were negotiating with Erling Haaland to try to convince the player to join the German club. Now Xavi is gonna be looking to prove the point and silence Bayern Munich, who have spent the entire summer bad-mouthing Barcelona, talking about how they didn't understand how the club was signing players because they were broke, how they didn't understand why Robert Lewandowski would want to join Barcelona because Barcelona could not offer Lewandowski anything more than Bayern Munich already has, and they even went as far as saying that they wanted Lewandowski's fee up front because they didn't believe that Barcelona would exist in 2 years. Now regardless of everything that has happened with Bayern Munich, a win in the Allianz Arena, which is something that Barcelona has never accomplished, will be a huge boost to the morale of the team because it's going to affirm all the hard work that the team has been doing so far, and it's going to affirm that all the hard work and money spent in the summer transfer window has been worth it. So there's a lot hanging on the balance on this match. The team is going to have its first big test so far. They're going to be looking to get vindicated and prove a point, and they're also going to be looking to get a huge morale boost if they win in Germany. Now having said that, if we end up losing or tying, it doesn't mean that everything is lost and the aspirations of the team are at the window. Not at all. If we do lose, it's gonna be because of tactical errors, not because we don't have the squad to compete with Bayern Munich. And I believe that in defeat is when you learn from your errors, and it's better to learn from the tactical errors if they exist right now in the group stage rather than later in the knockout stages where you don't have a second chance. Either way, hopefully Barcelona will be able to win today and they'll be able to add 3 more points to our Champions League tally. Now speaking of today's match against Bayern Munich, Xavi is going to have to exclude 2 players due to the limited amount of spots, and he has already decided to exclude Pablo Torre, but we have yet to see who Xavi will choose as the second player that he will be excluding out of the squad. Now this could be someone like Jordi Alba because Barcelona after all does have 3 left backs, which is unusual, or it could be Gerard Piqué since Barcelona have 5 center backs, which is also unusual, or it could be someone like Sergi Roberto who's been suffering from some discomfort in his adductor muscle, or it can even be Hector Bellerin, who has only trained and played one match with the team so far. Now on to the news that Gavi is very close to extending his contract with Barcelona. Now, as I reported previously, Gavi is currently playing under his Juvenil A or under 19 team contract, and Barcelona were hoping to issue him a new contract, a new senior team contract this summer transfer window. However, they couldn't clear enough space on the wage bill in order to do so, so Gavi decided to continue playing under his current contract. Now, with the departure of Miralem Pjanic after the closing of the summer transfer market, he has created some space in the wage bill that will allow Barcelona to extend Gavi's contract, and it's reported that Gavi will be putting pen and paper pretty soon, where he's gonna sign a 4-year contract with a €1 billion release clause. Now, even though Gavi had a lot of clubs interested in him, including Bayern Munich, Barcelona were never worried because it was always Gavi's intention to remain in Barcelona, so much so that he instructed his agent not to hear any offers during the summer transfer market because he only wants to play in Barcelona. Now on to the news that Barcelona could be reaching a resolution with Atletico de Madrid in regards to the Antoine Griezmann case. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, which I will leave the link for down below in the description in case you want to check it out, Barcelona wanted to proceed with a lawsuit against Atletico de Madrid in regards to the interpretation of Antoine Griezmann's contract. Now, Griezmann is currently on a 2-year loan with Atletico de Madrid, and there's a clause in his contract that states that if Antoine Griezmann plays 45 minutes or more of 50% of all the matches he's available for, then the clause would be triggered that would force Atletico de Madrid to buy Antoine Griezmann from Barcelona for 40 million euros. Well, it's Barcelona's interpretation that this clause applies to the first season, which means that Antoine Griezmann would have to play 45 minutes or more of 50% of all the matches that he's available for during the first season of loan, which he already did, where Atletico de Madrid has interpreted this clause that it applies to both seasons, meaning that Antoine Griezmann would have to play 45 minutes or more of 50% of all the matches that he's available for during the 2 seasons. Now, Barcelona were looking to go to court and have a judge interpret this clause. However, they have been in talk with Atletico de Madrid to try to reach a resolution, and it's reported that Barcelona would be willing to allow Atletico de Madrid to have Antoine Griezmann for around 25 to 30 million euros. Now, this would be a win-win scenario for both clubs because Barcelona don't want Griezmann back once his loan is over, given that he has a 20 million euro salary, and Atletico de Madrid would be able to buy the French player for less money than they originally agreed to, and they would also be able to remove the minute restriction they had imposed on the French player, where they were only playing him for 27 minutes every single match in order to avoid triggering the clause. Now on to the news that Deco has resigned his post as an advisor for FC Barcelona. Now, Deco is a Barcelona legend, and he's now an agent to football stars, and he was working as an advisor for FC Barcelona in the South American football market. Now, Deco was instrumental in bringing Rafinha over to the club, and as a result, all the anti-Barcelona media made a huge outrage about it, saying that it was a conflict of interest. Now, as a result, Deco has decided to resign from his post because he doesn't want to bring negative attention to the club or Joan Laporta, and this is huge on Deco's behalf, who from day one since arriving in Barcelona as a player has always put the club before his own interest. Now, speaking of Deco, Jordi Cruyff has revealed that all the players that Barcelona have signed had better and more lucrative offers from other clubs, yet they still decided to come to Barcelona, even though they could have made much more money at other clubs. Now, this touches on something that I discussed in a previous video where I commended that Joan Laporta was using the club's prestige to his advantage in signing players, because after all, this is FC Barcelona, one of the biggest and most historic clubs in the entire world, and players grow up dreaming of playing here in Barcelona, and that's something that Joan Laporta has used to his advantage in making offers to players, because he realized that you don't need to make the highest offer to these players, that these players still want to come to Barcelona regardless of what they offer, what kind of offer they receive from the club. And this is something that the previous president, Josep Maria Bartomeu, did not understand, where he went making huge offers, huge salaries, and huge bonuses to players to try to convince them to Barcelona, where they didn't need to do so because these players already wanted to come and play here in Barcelona, one of the biggest and most historic clubs in the entire world. And this summer transfer window is a big proof of this, where all 7 players or all all 8 players, if you include Pablo Torre, have decided to come to Barcelona despite having better and more lucrative offers from other clubs. Now on to the news that Jordi Alba's entourage has clarified his recent statements, saying that the player is not upset with Xavi, but he is upset with the club. Now, as I reported previously, the club had reached an agreement with Inter Milan for the loan of Jordi Alba during the final moments of the summer transfer market. And during a promotional event recently, Jordi Alba expressed his displeasure with the club trying to loan him out, and he hinted that the club were not upfront with him about it. Now, as I previously explained, Xavi had scheduled a meeting with Jordi Alba to inform him that he didn't count on him and that it was the club's intention to loan him out. However, Jordi Alba did not attend that meeting because he was very upset, and he informed Xavi that he will not leave Barcelona. Well, Jordi Alba's entourage has now clarified that Jordi Alba's displeasure is not with Xavi, who he considered has always been upfront with him. However, his displeasure is with Barcelona because he considers that the club were not upfront with the player, given their intention to loan him out during the summer transfer market. Now, as I reported previously, Barcelona will try to offload Jordi Alba once again during the winter transfer market, because not only does the club not count on him because of his underperformance, but he also has a 30 million euro gross salary, which the club consider as unacceptably high, especially for a player who's going to spend most of the season on the bench. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Messi will not be deciding his future until after the World Cup. Now, Joan Laporta has made it very clear in the media that his intention is to bring Messi back at the end of his contract with PSG in 2023 for one last goodbye. And Xavi has also expressed that he would be very willing to have Messi on his squad, given that he considers him the best player in the world and the best player in the history ever. Now, PSG are reportedly preparing to extend Lionel Messi's contract by 2 more years, and they're willing to offer him a very lucrative offer amid the talks of him possibly joining Barcelona. And it's now being reported that Messi will not be deciding on his future before the World Cup, because he's now focused on his season with PSG and on the Qatar World Cup with Argentina. So we have yet to see whether Messi will end up staying at PSG or whether he's going to come back to Barcelona for one final goodbye. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video, and as always, Peace, Barça.